guys, let me just share this. Boys. Ovas, ¿cómo estás? My bratvati, mis hermanos. How are you on this beautiful, fine day? Happy Boxing Day, everybody. Do you know why it's called Boxing Day? Me neither. I don't know. So we're off on the walk again. Yeah, again, it's so tempting to go down by that beautiful ocean. Caribbean Ocean here, boys. That's what it's all about. I was down there last night, did a set down there last night. Life is pretty good. But yeah, let's stay in this area of the city because it's more favourable to doing a little video. Try and show you a little bit what we've got going on here. So if you are a high IQ 30s man, you probably have a reasonable profession, if not an excellent profession. You may be a business owner. You may work in a globally renowned company. You may have attained a level of managerial success. You might be on a leadership team, etc., etc. And you may have really worked yourself into an enviable position in life where you've built the home, you've built yourself up, you've got the social skills, you've got a bit of cash in the bank, and you're thinking to yourself, well, what's the next step? The next step may be wife and family. I'm ready, girls. Let's go. I'm ready to party. Daddy's here, and he's ready to go. He's ready to fertilize your eggs. And so you start to think about going out into the world, dating again. You start to think about getting yourself back in the dating game. And coming out of retirement in 2025, 2026, maybe after a relationship, maybe you've even been divorced, or maybe you've just been single for a little while, focusing on other things. Coming out of a relationship and back into the minefield of modern dating, you go, right, let's have a look on this whole Tinder. Let's go and see if we can find my Tinderella. And I'm sure you will quickly find, if you're based in like UK, US, whatever, it is a heinous system designed to extract money from desperate men. Favours only an extremely small percentage of men, extremely small, who've got like all these portrait photos and all, because that's such a great indicator of your success in the world, spending shitloads of money on photos. I mean, it may be an indicator, it may not be, but a lot of like professional guys, like engineers, software engineers, are just like, why would I do that? Just a waste of money, right? Logical guys, not realizing, no, this is the game now. This is the game. And Tinder basically hates you. If you're a normal red-blooded man in your 30s, Tinder fucking hates you. It discriminates against you. You can even see that on the settings. Like the stupid woke hobbies that it gives you as options. Yeah, none of them are like kizumba or shooting or like, I don't know, blood sports or like hunting or whatever it is. Whatever your hobbies are, it's not like, you know, or something more mainstream like just mechanical, I don't know, cars, whatever. It gives you all these gay hobbies like fucking activism, whatever, just weird stuff, you know. You just know the undertone is one of hatred. And the age settings, but that aside, the age settings kill you. If you're over 30, the girls you want are going to put under 30. That doesn't mean in real life they wouldn't accept you. That doesn't mean in real life they may not actually prefer you as a man in his mid-30s to a guy who's 22 or 25. The reality is they probably would in real life. Almost very likely would if you've got your shit together and you look half decent. But on an app, it mentally doesn't really occur to them. you know, the Western thing, it's a little bit strange the way the West's gone with that, with the age stuff. Like it's school. Like I remember when I was 27 dating a 21-year-old, and the guy called me a cradle snatcher. I was like, mate, I'm barely mature enough, like in relationship terms, to be in a. I'm just mature enough to be in a truly adult relationship now. I'm 27. Before that, I was very mature in other ways, but it's a different type of maturity for relationships. So it's just ridiculous. Yeah. And actually, sure enough, that girl I was with, I think maybe we were together a couple of years. Then she went out with a guy her age, and she told me she absolutely fucking hated it. She just couldn't stand it. She was like, oh my god, he was a right passive aggressive little fucking beast somehow. So yeah, anyway, I digress, but that's just a story to illustrate. In the real world, men in their 30s are very sought after by women. They respond very well to you if you're well put together in your 30s. So Tinder discriminates you, Tinder fucking hates you. And so you're left scratching your head. All right, well, this Tinder, I'm not gonna literally date a goblin, thank you very much, like a 40-year-old goblin. No, thank you. I think I'm a little bit better than that, and you'd be right to think that. And then you're thinking to yourself, do I want to go and hit the clubs again? Maybe. Clubs are a decent shout. They're all right. They're a decent shout. It's in person. It's in real life. Pretty decent. Yeah. But there's a little frustration in you that you still think, I could do something better. I could get better. Hey, what about the girls in the library? What about the girls in the cafe? Let me try that. And maybe you even think to yourself, right, I'm going to have a pop today. I'll give it a crack. Give it a go. And almost certainly, if you do give it a pop, you'll realize, wait, what am I actually supposed to do? Like, what am I actually supposed to do here? Yeah, especially the very rational, logical-minded man, they'll look through it and they won't think like, oh, just vibe, just chit-chat. They'll be like thinking, because this is me, like, what am I actually supposed? What have I got to do here? What's the mechanics? How does this work? And yeah, then you overthink it and the opportunities go. But even if you are a bit of a suave Lothario, it's the daytime, just stopping girls in the day, that seems a little bit much. Look at this, the beautiful bride and groom here. That's why I love Santo Domingo, that's why I love this part of the city. So yeah, it's very difficult to know what to do. It's very difficult to know what to do in this day and age for a man. There's nothing set up for you. Like, there used to be like social clubs. You know, my grandma and granddad, they didn't meet at this, but they used to go to the working men's club. There were actually a lot of social, more organized social things. You can get yourself into these like running clubs and stuff like that. Apparently that's where a lot of people are hooking up these days, in the running club. I mean, it has come to something, hasn't it? That's actually apparently a thing. So that's one thing you could do. Or you could have a look on the internet and type in the word cold approach and see what comes up. I don't fucking know what will come up, to be honest. And you may see guys going up to girls in the street, approaching them, talking to them. You may even see guys getting numbers. You might go, that looks interesting. And the wheels start to turn and you go, hold on, that could potentially massively open my dating potential if I could just unlock that skill, if I actually knew what I was doing. And so yeah, maybe that's what brought you to my channel, that's what brought you to this live. Curiosity about cold approach. Is it really a thing? Does it actually work? Or is it just like, are they all paid actresses on the internet? Then when I go on Instagram and I look for gurus and stuff, I think a lot of the production is very neat and like very perfect. It's obviously pre-prepared. It's like, that's a demo, is it? Really? It really works like that? And yeah, maybe just scratching your head, is this stuff actually real? Oh my goodness me, look at the legs, man. And yeah, maybe you're just not sure. You're not sure, but I'm just here to assure you today on this live all your feelings and your quandary in the situation you're in, it's perfectly normal, man. It's perfectly normal. It really is. This is the state of play in 2025, 2026, and it's not your fault. It's not your fault. You may well have done everything right, played by the rules, got yourself into this position, and now you're looking to cash in on all of this great value that you built, so to speak, and you're finding yourself scratching your head. So I'm just taking my oh, this is, by the way, boys, this is the most prolific jacket in the manosphere. I'm gonna hang my hat on that. I don't think there is any jacket in the manosphere, I don't know if I'm part of the manosphere or not, that has picked up more phone numbers than this red Puma King top. Right, it is feared from Manchester to Belgrade to Salvador to Rio de Janeiro. But it's too hot right now. But yeah, you may be thinking to yourself, like, fuck, what do I do? Is this real? And I'm just here to assure you, it absolutely damn well is real. And not only is it real, it's actually normal. It's actually normal. And this is the point I wanted to make here. Cold approach is normal. Cold approach is completely normal. Essentially, everything else is abnormal. Everything else in society is almost like synthetic, inorganic, overly cerebral nonsense. Cold approach is actually, I think this is why I like it so much. Things like Dan's cold approach, physical training, is something raw. It's real human connection. And although we do have structures, and structure is important, especially as you're learning, and it's always important, although we do have structures, fundamentally there's a fuckload of chaos in cold approach. And the more you step in actually and embrace the chaos, especially as you get to the higher levels, sorry about the wind, especially as you get to the higher levels, that's actually what you've got to do. You've actually got to cause the chaos, bring the chaos. Yeah, that's the level I'm getting into right now. This live's not about me, it's about you. But once you've got all the structures, you can get the numbers, you get the dates, whatever, you start to run into all these weird scenarios which are just off the map, like the girls with their whole family. The fuck do you do then, hotshot? And the answer is, you got to roll into that chaos. There's no map, there's no formula for that one, my friend. You know, you can make suggestions, but you got to absolutely just roll into these. And it's just messy, man. It's messy. There's a fair amount of messiness in approaches, and that's actually part of the grace of cold approach. It's part of the grace of human interaction and communication. It is messy. It's not perfect. And I think that's what some of these demos that I've seen, I don't look at too much context, but sometimes I see dating advice and demos, and even if they bring women in, it's like, it's obviously just like an interview, or just, you've got no real interactions. And then guys doing real interactions, you know, such as the ones on my channel, you know, sometimes it looks a bit messy. Yeah, it fucking does. Sometimes they do go to shit, even with a great approach. Sometimes they go to shit. Sometimes they go super well. Sometimes a shit approach still closes. I did one just on the corner here a couple of nights ago, and I thought, nah, this is atrocious close, but let me stay in for a slightly inordinate amount of time, which is just a side tip, by the way, which I think is somewhat characteristic of my game, is some guys, if they don't get immediate affirmative, will just bounce. And I'm not sure if it's because I'm dogged or because of the places I've actually done my approach. Places like Serbia, Dominican. A lot of times the girls won't give you that much back at all. They'll give you nothing back. In fact, it's not even, sometimes it's literally not even a two-way conversation. It's just you. And I'm happy to be dogged and just stick around, chill around, annoy the girl. And normally what I'll do there is, if she's kind of non-responsive, if I'm concerned she's on her own, if I'm concerned I might be intimidating her, which I am a bearded, bald git, I'll just say, oh, sorry, am I intimidating you here? I know you look a bit stressed. Something like that. Just just to check in she's okay. I don't do that immediately, but like if it's been like, let's say 90 seconds and she's almost like she's gone catatonic. And very often I'll be like, oh no, not at all. It's just because they're shy or they don't know how to take the approach. But yeah, I will stick in for a while. So again, that's a mark of experience. That's a mark of experience. I've noticed other guys start to do that a little bit when they realize, hey, sometimes the girl isn't into it straight away, but that doesn't mean she couldn't warm up. So, but that's something I would say, honestly, as you get more experience, start to do that. Probably for a beginner, if there's really obviously no interest, I'd say you're probably not in a position to judge as a beginner, quite honestly. I'd say get some positive results first, start racking up a couple hundred approaches first, then you'll actually, oh my god, they're out already. Then you'll start to get enough experience to make that call. So it was on this very corner here, in front of Pizzarella. There we go, in front of Pizzarella, right there, there's a girl in a dress. And there's a certain level of hotness, and when they're dressed up as well, which is fucking gorgeous. There's a certain level where it's like, yeah, that's the standard I'm looking for. There's no option, this is not an optional one. She was on her own as well, so it's like, this is a must approach. So I went in for her, and I'd actually already seen her previously in the park, but it wasn't a good dynamic. I think there was a guy sat next to her I thought she was with, but she wasn't. And she was very nonplussed, very non-responsive. I just stuck around, dogged, determined. I didn't just tuck tail and turn away, which actually, that more dogged mentality, that's what is expected from the men here in Dominican Republic. So the girls don't come forward because they know the men will so much, they didn't really need to do anything. And so I just stuck around. It's probably about, it always feels longer than it is, but it was probably I'd say about a 6-7 minute approach, something like that. It was a fair amount of time. It felt like it felt like really long, but it probably was realistically probably about 6 or 7 minutes. And it's kind of like getting blood out of a stone, but eventually started to get something from her conversationally. And we just exchanged Instagrams at the end. And as I'm trying to build up my Instagram following, get my ratio up, I was like, yeah, just give me your phone, I'll follow myself. I'm like, I'm assuming we're not going to talk, so let me just add her as a follower. I don't give a shit. Give me one extra follower. But then she actually messaged me. She actually just messaged me. So I was like, interesting. Just being dogged and sticking in actually can get you results, and that has been the case for me a few times. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens on that one. But just know, boys, it's absolutely normal. It's absolutely normal. Very few things in society these days are normal. You know, as I say, I'm up in the Instagram game. Go follow me, Joe Blake Lisbon. I'm purely doing it as a landing page / personal branding exercise for dating. That's the only reason I'm doing it. So I need you boys to follow me, so I can get hot babes. I don't need it, but I'm just curious to know, could this unlock a few more options? And I think it will. Even just on the very small upgrade I've done from it being like a -2 to a +3 out of 10. Even that small upgrade of at least a few pictures that look like all right, that has already, I can see that's already made a bit of a difference. So yeah, it's a nice little 1-2 punch, definitely. So although it's obviously weird and fake, ultimately, definitely for something like cold approach, it's very useful because these girls don't have any social proof for me. I'm just a weird white guy who just flew in out of the sky, and you know, Hercules here. They don't have any point of reference for me, so it gives them at least some point of reference. I'm going to be working on it this year as well. But yeah, I'm using it as a tool, not as my primary method of attack. Like 90% of the work is done in the approach, and it's just like that extra 10%, you know. And here's the thing: if you've done, let's say you've done 70 to 90% of the work in an approach, you may still get nothing out of it. And that's one of the most, like, just think about that logically. It's a very important and yet very depressing realization. You can do 70, 80% right. You can do a fantastic set. You can do everything right. Your coach could look at you and go, brilliant, well done, good strong eye contact, good body language, you look relaxed, your vocal tonality was really good, you're smooth, your experience is starting to show, you're socially confident, you allow the pauses, and you steer the conversation in a nice way, you get her logistics, etc. Your coach could listen in and look at you and go, dude, that was premium, dude. There was very little you did wrong there. But if you're just 70%, 80% of the way there with the girl, it's like you may as well be 0% of the way there because you're not getting the result either way. And that's one of the most important realizations in this. You can be doing a fuckload right, and just because of the nature of cold approach, what you need to get across the line, it just might be a shade under. It might be a shade under. And conversely, you can do a hell of a lot wrong. You can do a hell of a lot wrong, but if the girl's there, you know, after the shitty open, half, 6 meters away, looking over her shoulder, and she just liked the look of you, or she was just feeling horny that day, or whatever it is, she just watched the film 365 and she was feeling erotically charged and wanted a bold masculine man to step into her reality. Maybe you just turned up at the right place at the right time, or maybe you're just a very attractive guy and you get her across the line very quickly. You've got the 100% of the way there, even with potentially not a great approach. So the Instagram can just pull you. This is my belief on it, and I think this will prove to be true. It will just pull you that little extra way into the girl's reality. Very much as, like, back in the club days when I was going out as a young wee whippersnapper around Yorkshire, I'd drink a pint of Guinness, eat a bit of cement, headbutt the wall, go out. No, I wasn't one of those types of guys at all, as you can probably tell. But out and about in not just Yorkshire, Madrid as well, other places as well, Nice, where I used to live. Out and about, and girls you would see on more than one occasion, much more likely to close, much more likely for something romantic to spark off, kick off. Just that first meeting, maybe not enough. So Instagram almost gives you a second meeting. That's the theory here. Oh my Lord. Oh my goodness. Jesus Christ. Before the viewer stream, mate, I'm in Santo Domingo right now. These were all built by Christopher Columbus. I'm very grateful to my 4 viewers. I probably know them all, but what I do know is I get about 100 views total on these lives. So there's people out there still watching them. So if it's helping you guys who watch it in the aftermath, and I'm entertaining you, that's good. River Osana there, my old apartments across to the side, the beach club. But yeah, Santo Domingo, what a city. First city in the Americas. Incredible. Jesus. Right, I've got to do it. It's so annoying. I can't just go for a walk in these lives. I've got to actually go and do an approach. Permiso, hola. Están haciendo una sesión de fotógrafo. Sí. Es un live en la zona colonial. Quería mostrar a mis seguidores un ejemplo de la belleza dominicana. ¿Te gustaría entrar en el live un segundo? Sí, entra. ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Hablas inglés? No, ok, hablo en español entonces. Entonces, ¿cómo te llamas?
Emily.
Emily. Y bueno, me gusta mucho tu vestido, Emily, se ve muy elegante.
Gracias.
¿Y es una ocasión especial o...?
Yo cumplí años, entonces mi mejor amiga me iba a hacer unas fotos por esa ocasión.
Ah, pero no me digas que es una quinceañera.
No, 19.
Ya, que lo pensaba. Ah, y hiciste muchos selfies entonces.
Algo así.
Ah, sí. Aquí por la zona, por el castillo.
Ajá, caminamos todos los lugares, literalmente.
Y bueno, esa es la mejor zona de la ciudad, ¿no?
Una de las más bonitas.
So it's her 19th birthday, and she is out doing a photography session around these beautiful buildings around here. But let's keep the attention on her because she's looking incredible today. ¿Has salido del país alguna vez?
No.
No, nunca. Y eres de aquí, de la capital. Ah, ok. ¿Y te gusta la República Dominicana?
Me encanta.
Yo también. Yo también. Por eso prácticamente vivo aquí ahora. Sí.
O sea, ¿de qué país?
Yo soy de Inglaterra.
Pero actualmente vives aquí.
Soy del Reino Unido y vine aquí durante la pandemia.
Pues tienes mucho.
Bueno, yo volví y luego dije, ya no puedo con Europa, ya regreso.
Ok, este es un país hermoso, la verdad, muy turístico.
Exactly. So we're just talking about a country, how beautiful it is. ¿Y tú crees que las mujeres dominicanas son las mejores del mundo?
¿Pero en qué sentido?
Bueno, no sé el sentido, en el sentido general.
Es que yo digo
¿O las
como
americanas son mejor?
que... No,
¿No?
las dominicanas definitivamente.
¿La mexicana?
Es que yo digo como que cada país tiene su belleza. Entonces no podría decir como que las mexicanas son las mejores o las estadounidenses. O sea, cada país tiene su belleza.
No estoy de acuerdo con eso. Pero hay mucha belleza.
Hermosas. Todas las dominicanas somos hermosas.
I agree. So she just said that Dominicans are the best. In a way, we were talking about Mexicans, but they're better than Americans, basically.
¿Eso es TikTok o Instagram?
Eso es YouTube. Soy youtuber. Pero él está estrenando en Inglaterra.
Ok. Bueno, ¿cómo te llamas?
Me llamo Joe Blake Lisbon. Sí. ¿Tú tienes Insta?
Sí.
Pues, ¿tú tienes Insta ahí?
Sí,
Yo me lo pongo. So this is what I'm basically talking about. Tú tienes muchos seguidores, tú, me imagino que sí.
no tanto, no.
No tanto.
Este es el teléfono de ella. Yo le voy a tirar un cable para que ella me la mande.
Ok.
Pero, déjenme mostrar.
Pero te queda muy bien la blanca, realmente.
Gracias.
Sí. Ahí creo que es una quinceañera eso.
Sí, esa es mi cuenta.
Ok. Michelle Corazón. Michelle, no lo puedo sacar porque...
No, pero yo se lo
Ok.
ahorita de mi
Sígueme entonces. Okay, guys, we've just been talking to absolute beauty. Un placer.
Gracias.
Hermosa, no quiero ir, de hecho. No quiero quedar. Vamos a tomar una... ¿Qué se bebe aquí? Mamaguana, ¿no?
¿Qué es eso? Ay, no, yo no bebo eso.
¿Tú no bebes eso?
No.
¿Ron? ¿Te gusta el ron?
El alcohol no.
¿No te gusta el alcohol? ¿Café? Era una chica intelectual entonces. Oye, hay unos buenos cafés por aquí, de hecho. ¿Café barista lo conoces?
No, pero me gusta, o sea, todo tipo de café, me encanta el café.
Te llevo. La gente va a flipar si entro con eso. Ellos me conocen. Si entro con una chica vestida así. Joseph ha encontrado una esposa, wow.
Oh my God. ¿Y cuántos años tú tienes?
Yo tengo 33. Tú 19. Mucha diferencia. Yo tengo el espíritu joven.
Sí, me doy cuenta.
Sí. Mi vida es básicamente una vida un poco internacional. Vivo aquí la mitad y la mitad en Europa.
O sea, tú vienes y vas.
Vengo como 6 meses del año aquí y 6 meses allá. Porque aquí en el verano por mí hace demasiado calor.
Pero tú vives aquí con tu familia o solo?
No, yo vivo solo.
¿Tu familia está allá?
Sí. Estoy solo por Navidad. Imagínate. Pero no quería volver. Yo quería llevarles ahí a ellos que vienen aquí para pasar los domingos. Esa es la idea. Pero,
o sea, ellos nunca han venido acá.
No, todavía no.
No han tenido el poder.
No tiene no sé, yo creo que tiene miedo, no sé.
¿Miedo por qué?
No sé, la gente, el público de la República no es tan bueno a veces.
Sí, yo sé.
Cuando digo que vivo aquí, la gente me dice, pero estás loco, es un país peligroso y eso.
Pero es que en cada país hay algo peligroso, hay un barrio peligroso, no se pueden llevar de eso, porque cada país tiene una situación similar.
Exacto.
Entonces tenemos que enfocarnos en el lado bueno, en el lado bonito, turístico, hace mucho calor en verano y así.
También chicas peligrosas.
No, yo no soy de esas, ¿no?
¿Tú no eres peligrosa?
No.
Ah, no. Ah, tú eres una buena.
Yo sí.
Ah, ok.
No, lo que te pregunta a ella. Yo soy muy buena.
Ah, ¿y soy familia?
Mi mejor amiga.
Ah, ok, ok.
Literalmente familia.
Ah. ¿Y tú trabajas o estudias?
No, me gradué, ahora voy a iniciar la universidad en el año que viene.
Ah, chulo. ¿Sabes lo que vas a estudiar?
Todavía no lo he decidido, pero hay algunas que me llaman. Más adelante voy a ver cuál me quedo.
Tú estás en el buen periodo de la vida cuando uno está como mirando, explorando, viendo lo que hay.
Exacto.
No tiene presión, te puedes elegir tu camino. Es un buen punto, de hecho, un buen punto. Sí. Yo soy profesor, soy profe de inglés virtual. Entonces, por eso puedo viajar, porque trabajo remoto. Sí.
Ya, ay, qué bien.
Sí, está muy chulo. Bueno, puedes seguir con el live porque la
claro.
gente me está diciendo
Bueno,
cosas,
nos
pero
vemos ahorita.
mucho gusto,
Igual.
un placer realmente. Y chao también, chao.
Bye.
Muy bendecido, chao, chao. It's a beautiful Emily, guys. What an absolute stunner. There we go. Round of applause for the wing bro. So we just got an Insta there. We'll see. Will my profile work on the beautiful Emily? Let's have a look. What are we saying here? Yeah, she's nice, man. She's nice. Exactly. Beautiful. I'm not a travel vlogger, mate, to be honest. Just looking at the comments here. I'm not a travel vlogger. The purpose of this channel, although I live a nomadic lifestyle, the purpose of this channel is to assist men who are currently in dating purgatory, who don't have the options that they could have, and they're going on to the apps, and it's just a complete shit show. Tinder absolutely fucking hates you, despises you. If you're over 30, and if you're under 6 foot as well, like I'm 5'7", bro. It's just all of these stupid things that people have got into their heads. Go and ask Julius Evola about the whole height thing. Like, unless you're a literal dwarf, it doesn't make that much fucking difference. But anyway, all of this bullshit, like people classifying other humans like insects, completely lacking any real human connection, human charm. Yeah, you see the little bit of jinga I had there with I've forgotten her name already, Emily, the lovely Emily. You know, you can actually go out there. Oh my god, no. You can actually go out there and you can create that at will. Yeah, just literally go to a good place with some attractive girls, and if you've got the right technique, a bit of conversation, you know the fundamentals, you can go out there and you can go and do it. And what I help guys with is just to basically break that barrier. It's an amazing thing. Cold approach is just such a freeing thing. I wouldn't be on this live, I wouldn't have a channel if it wasn't for cold approach. I just wouldn't, okay? It just completely, it was the final step I always wanted to take. Beyond, you know, clubs, I'd already done all that stuff. I just wanted to take this one final step to season myself off when I was in my late 30s. And it's just massively improved my options. That girl's fucking 19, do you know what I mean? And we were just joking about the age gap. It's like, I didn't tell her I'm 40, I told her I was 33. So, it's just a demo, boys, it's just a demo. You could be out here with me, learning this stuff. And the great thing about having a coach alongside you is like, so I call this channel Wing Bro. I'm basically your wing and your big brother. That's basically it. The stuff that your big brother didn't teach you, because he couldn't, because most guys know this stuff, or your dad couldn't teach you because they didn't know. I'm here to teach you this stuff. I've learned it. and along with another group of guys we basically developed an amazing system for this, and we literally cross-reference each other, we check each other, we wing together and learn from each other. So at the moment, I believe I'm running the most skilled system in the world right now, and it's only getting better. It's only getting better. It's the only truly peer-reviewed system, because there's about 10-20 guys who are all trading notes and doing the same stuff. So I've got an acute awareness of exactly what is a good and isn't a good approach. And honestly, once you've got the fundamentals right, it's actually very straightforward. It becomes easy. It starts off like the hardest thing in the world, and a few years later you can do it on a live, just like with a phone in your hand. It becomes a lot easier, but I understand guys who go out, and if you want to go and start approaching it first, I mean, honestly, doing it solo, you can watch some of my videos. There's a video I shot in Macedonia. You can just go through the old archives. Excuse the slightly demented thumbnail collection. I'm a bit experimental with the thumbnails. That will be improving this year. But a little bit demented thumbnail collection. If you just look through some of those videos, you'll see some of my basic structures that I use. And I believe in freedom within a structure. Freedom within a structure. That will get you to, like, let's say level 3 on the pyramid out of 5. As I mentioned earlier, the top couple of levels, that's when you got to start going to chaos mode in the top few levels. But you can go and watch that video, you can go do some approaches yourself, but I think you'll find it can be overwhelming to do it solo, man. It can be overwhelming to do it solo, and unless you're very experienced handling that fear, you've been in fucking combat or something, the fear's probably going to be too much for you, dude. It was for me, man. I pushed myself brutally into some approaches. I eventually started to get some success, but I couldn't get consistency without training. That's what I can say the training gave me. So I hired a coach. We went through all the fundamentals, and then we developed things even higher over the last couple of years. So I would highly recommend coaching. And obviously my service is here. So I'm running immersions out here in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. I may even run an immersion at Carnival in February. We'll see about that. If you're into the sexy Latinas, this is the place to be. And I'll also be running immersions in Belgrade, Serbia as well this summer. So it's all to come. Maybe a quick stop in the UK, we'll see. It's all to come. But I would just recommend, let's stay in the quiet area. I definitely would recommend coaching. I definitely would. Let's have a look at, just know you, yeah, so, okay, so let's just say you know only English. You can still approach here. You just have to find girls who speak English. So that would mean you would have to do more volume. But on the flip side of that, some of the girls who do speak English, that's a chance for them to feel clever. That's a chance for them to have a crazy interaction with an attractive, exciting gringo. The bells. You know what? I'm just going to shut up and listen to the bells. So, oh, they're murking me now. What was that? So yeah, you'll have to run more volume if you're not sure about the English level. Here the English level is so-so, and ultimately verbals are not even that important. The main thing I use with verbals is to be a little bit provocative and to throw a few little jibes in there, a little bit of humor, just sometimes to get the girls laughing a little bit. That's the main thing I use humor for. It's mostly non-verbal. If I were to break down that, my non-verbals were all right. They weren't crazy though. They weren't like amazing seductive or anything like that, but I wasn't really going for that then. There was some connection when we looked at each other, but strong eye contact. Remembering sometimes I speak quite fast sometimes. Not, well, some people think I speak slow, but I think I speak quite fast sometimes. But just remembering to slow it down, have a slight down intonation in your pitch, not have that rising intonation at the end of your pitch, which sounds really approval seeking. It's hard because that's come over from the US and everybody fucking uses it now. Whole fucking professional class uses that now. It's pathetic, dude. You sound almost obnoxious now if you don't use it, but it doesn't sound good. So women, it's an instinctive thing. The clitoris senses the vibration is going the wrong direction. So, yeah, it's more non-verbal than verbal. There's a story, actually, I'll just share this. I'm telling old man stories today. There's a story of when I was 28, pulling a girl in a club who was Greek, and she didn't speak a word of English. And I'd always wanted to pull a girl with no talking at all, none. We couldn't even talk, yeah. And I think she gave me, well, I went back to her, we went back to an after party, and it got a bit raunchy in the after party. There was a pot of honey involved in it. And she couldn't speak a lick of English. It was such a good experience to have. Like, it just proved beyond any shadow of a doubt, you don't even need words. Obviously we're in a club, so it's raunchy. The girl was horny as fuck as well. But still, it just proves, like, so was I obviously, it just proves you don't actually need them. Wow, what a place this is, boys. What a place. Mohid, mate, when are you going to get off these lives and come and get on a call, mate? Get on a call. Get your wallet out, mate. There's only so much value you can get off these lives, mate. I'm happy that you join me on them. But my friend, it is time to step up, mate. It's time to step up. My prices right now are lower than they will be in 2026. So for guys looking to get in for training, if you book now, if you get on call in the last few days of 2025, this is not a gimmick, this is just, it's how it has to be. In a business, you basically have to put as your demand increases, you have to put your prices up every few months. And it's just what makes sense. Yeah, as time goes on, currently I have another business, well actually two businesses that I run outside of Wingbro, and I also train guys as well, and I also do shitloads of cold approach. So my schedule is extremely full. But over time, the idea is to take this to a professionalized service, an absolutely premium level service. And that will be, those prices will be premium. Those prices will be premium. That might be a year or two away from now, but yeah, my honest advice to anyone, there's guys who could attest to this who worked with me, just get in right now. Honestly, if I could work with my 40-year-old self now when I was 20, I just literally would empty my bank balance. I'd be like, just take it all, Wingbro, have it all. I need the knowledge because the next 20 years of my life I want to utilize it, you know. So if you're in your 30s, you're high IQ, you're a busy professional, and you're sick of the fucking apps, you're sick of being dictated to by a bunch of woke Silicon Valley gimps what your dating life is going to look like, you actually want to start to take control yourself, potentially still leveraging maybe Instagram as well, but mostly just mano o womano, in the flesh, face to face. If you want to take advantage of that, get in touch. Well, I don't really have much to sell, to be honest with you. Like, if you don't see value in it, that's absolutely fine. Just keep watching. If you find it useful, or if you find it soothing to watch the videos, that's also fine. I don't mind. But if you actually want to, I just close the girl on the live for you, for fuck's sakes. If you actually want, there's not many people doing that, you know. I might add this, you know. There's not that many people doing that, just closing on lives. Fucking girl in a dress, like a white dress. We'll see how hot a close that is, but it was all right, to be honest with you. It was all right. It wasn't a WhatsApp, but I think with my my photos in the Romanian winter, I think that actually could do the trick. We'll see. But yeah, if you want to learn, you know, here I am, boys. Here I am, and we'll start to wind down. What a beautiful road. So yeah, those other countries you mentioned there, Serbia, Croatia, Lisbon. Yeah, you can do cold approach in all those countries. Absolutely all those countries, just in English. My clients out in Serbia, none of them knew a word of Serbian. I mean, all I could say in Serbian that was productive was "Izvinite." That was it. Ledana moka bez šlaga. I love Serbian, man. I love Serbian. Such a fucking good language. I should be doing more of Serbian instead of being out here in the streets approaching women, but just got to be professional. Yeah, so in those countries, yeah, absolutely you can. Dominican, it's you definitely can as well. The girls who don't speak English, you just move on to the ones that do, and you'll find the ones that do get quite excited. You know, like they love speaking of English. You know, and again, it's mostly non-verbal. So even with a bit of that caveman language, these are some of the great experiences. Oh God, I could give you other old man stories about Lisbon, 2017, and I was down in Lisbon 2017. I was 32 years old, pulling an Angolan beauty at Kizomba. Pure physicality, raw physicality. We couldn't even communicate, but we just communicated on the dance floor. And then when I was speaking to her friends, I was like, "Yo, su Tarzan." Yeah, so you don't need too much, boys. You don't need too much. I talk a fuckload on these lives, but in reality, in an actual approach and stuff, and especially on dates, especially when you get onto the dates, you can reduce the conversation down loads. You want to actually not talk too much. Let the tension build. Let the silence build on the date itself. Let's get ourselves into the castle for the last little part of the live, if they let us in. Does it cost to get in? I think it's free to get in.
Ocho, ¿quién estás esperando ahí?
Es gratis la entrada. Permiso, es gratis la entrada. Es gratis la entrada. Okay, gracias. I've been a cheapskate. I've been a tighto. I'm in Dominican Republic, my friend, right now. As you can see by these wonderful patriotism that's displayed by these people. La Patria. Definitely a country I would die for. I would give my life for this country. With no hesitation. Without hesitation. Even though the president's a little bit corrupt. I don't mind though. Take my money, mate. Spend it on your prostitutes. I don't care. Have it. I love your country. So, boys, in conclusion of this wild, rambly live, hopefully there's been some gems in there for you. You have at least seen a live action cold approach, and in Spanish as well, for God's sake. Come on. I mean, to be fair, Spanish now, I've been speaking it for so long, it's not really impressive, to be fair. I've just been speaking it for that long, but it's always nice to just show people what an approach actually looks like. Yeah, it's real. You can obviously do it. That would have been better without the camera, in all honesty. I mean, maybe the initial impression is cool with the camera, but the rest of the interaction, it does make the rest of the interaction harder. So, boys, I will love you and leave you. Thank you very much for joining me. I am Joseph Wingbro. Last few days closing in at the end of 2025. What a year it has been. What a year it has been. If you want to learn the noble art of cold approach, if you want to massively upgrade your dating, your sex, your romantic life, boys, I'm a treasure trove of information. Been approaching since I was 15. Did my first cold approach in a club when I was 15 to a girl I subsequently lost my virginity to, also when I was 15. So I've been in this game for a quarter of a century, boys. You can imagine. That's why an old rake like me can go around the streets and still be effective at 40 years old. Have a better personal life at 40 than I've ever had. So Yeah, you've got to have the right guys around you, you've got to have the skills, but it's all there for the taking, boys. Have an absolute smasher. Jurassic Panther. And Mahid, mate, get yourself on a call, mate. I'll be expecting to see you soon. How do you get to so many of these lives, mate? You're a mystery person, mate. Where do you work from? Are you working in a call centre? Am I distracting you from your calls? Right, boys, 50 minutes, there we go. Done and dusted.